Pre-built gaming PCs. I want to talk about it because I actually decided to go pre-built instead of building out my own rig for the first time in a long while. And the thing about it is there's this intense urge where people have the absolute desire to convince somebody else not to buy pre-built by any means necessary. Definitely build your PC, it's the best way to go about it, but I don't actually quite think that's the case. And the thing is, it's not just gaming PCs either. It comes down to the smartphone you use, whether it's Android or iPhone. It comes down to the sports teams you enjoy. There's always something and you're always losing no matter what. And for the first time, I've decided I just really don't care. Because at the end of the day, the main thing I really care for in my gaming PC is, can it game? Of course, there's all the other stuff like editing and any sort of browsing the web and music and all that fun stuff, but for myself, can my computer game? And that's all that really matters. And you'll definitely hear it from all sides. PC is better from console. Building is better than pre-built. Stop playing fucking video games and do something else. The list goes on. And no matter who you are, you're going to be hearing it from all angles. And up until recently, I was super stressed about building out this gaming PC until I really just thought about it. And of course, although price matters, that wasn't really what I was stressing out over. I was stressing over what motherboard to pick, what type of cooling, whether I should go AMD or Intel, what GPU do I pick, can I find a GPU? All that stuff rounds out to just a stressful experience for me in building a PC right now, and I decided to go pre-built. Now obviously there's pros and cons to building or not building, but at the end of it all I really care for, like I mentioned, is if my PC does the job. And the job I need my PC to do, like I mentioned, is mostly going to be that high refresh gaming alongside some content consumption and perhaps some light editing. And I imagine for 99% of you, especially if you're watching this channel, it's probably going to be gaming or something similar. But for myself, between working, having a family, and barely finding time to game in the first place, I found the least path of resistance was finding a pre-built. And I won't pretend like there aren't benefits to building out a dope-ass PC either. I even asked all of you what you think I should do in the community, and a striking majority of you told me to build out a PC. So naturally, I did the exact opposite. Still, from a gaming standpoint, I'm heavy into my competitive Overwatch, where I'm looking to hit max frames with zero graphical issues. Not to mention an absolute beast of a system is absolutely necessary for these new 4K 240Hz OLEDs that I've been checking out. And yeah, while there's a difference, both a pre-built or a custom build will do the same thing for me. Apart from gaming as well, while I typically use my MacBook for any sort of creative work, I've been noodling around in DaVinci Resolve on my PC since it's actually quite a lot more powerful than that Mac. Besides all that, as with any PC, I'm still going to be able to do all the other stuff like content consumption and just browsing the web. Now, for those of you watching who are literally foaming at the mouth thinking about me using a pre-build, let me just go ahead and shit on pre-builds for a moment just to make your day. And let me start with the price, since yeah, 95% of the time, pre-builds are going to be more expensive than just building out your own system. Not to mention some pre-builds have proprietary parts. In my situation, I bought a PC from Alienware, which is the Aurora R16, and this has its own proprietary motherboard. If anything ever happens to this PC, I'm quite actually screwed. The only people that can fix this PC is Dell themselves. And if I'm ever talking about upgrading, I can't swap out my motherboard, I can't swap out my case because of the proprietary parts. That said, this cookie cutter ass PC is an absolute powerhouse and it does every single thing I need. Right out of box, I don't need to stress about BIOS updates, getting components to work, I don't have to spend hours on part picker trying to decide and source my parts in the first place, and I don't need to spend an entire evening putting shit together that will inevitably give me an error on its first boot up. And again, it simply works. And the way things are going when it comes down to Bitcoin and AI, at least up here in Canada, RTX 4090s are just about impossible to come by, even still. And do you know who doesn't have an issue getting 4090s? Those big ass pre-built wholesalers. And if we're talking about warranty as well, that is a huge benefit when it comes to certain pre-builds because you're going to be getting an entire system blanket warranty, which is pretty sweet. Some of these manufacturers will give you 2 or 3 years as well. So if anything does go wrong, I know who to call, and it's just the one supplier. With a combination of all this together, for me, it was just a better choice. Not to mention, for myself, I somehow got this banger ass price. For reference, this build would typically run me close to $5,000 Canadian, which is about 3,600 US. Pre-built aside though, that's one of the things in the name itself, it's pre-made, and you don't get to customize anything that goes into your system. Sure, there are going to be a couple pieces you can probably swap out, the amount of RAM, maybe the hard drive, but that's not really customization, that's just picking a component. When it comes down to a pre-built, that really is an entire experience. Whether or not you want that experience, it's totally up to you, but that's the badass thing. You get to pick your case, your motherboard, your cooling, your hard drives, your RAM, everything else. And it's all for you. You know everything about your system inside and out. And a part of that entire experience is like picking your dope ass case that fits your entire setup perfectly, or yeah, you do get the whole build done and somehow it turns on the first try. There's nothing sweeter. And frankly, those are things you simply won't get with a pre-built. Not to mention 9 out of 10 times building your own PC is gonna be cheaper. I think I got lucky in my case buying my PC for the price that I found it at, but typically you're gonna be saving quite a bit by building your own. And unless you're an impatient asshole like myself, it's hard not to see the benefits of a pre-built PC, especially because it's made just for you. And just for reference on this pre-built that I bought, it does have an RTX 4090, a 14900 KF, 32 gigs of RAM, 2 terabytes of storage, and liquid cooling. So yeah, it's a pretty good system. Between either built or pre-built, there really is no right or wrong answer. And in reality, every one of my buddies chose to build their PCs instead, and I'm the minority right now. It could be because I'm not as up to date as I once was, and I don't really want to risk messing up my new expensive ass machine, or maybe because I've been spending more time on console gaming over the last couple years, and what else is a pre-built gaming PC but a super console on crack? It's important to know though that there's no right or wrong, since it's going to be different for every single person. But if Timmy's parents want to get him a gaming PC as a gift, I don't think they're going to be hopping onto PC Part Picker anytime soon to assess the entire situation and try to save a dime. And I could be wrong in this entire video, and I'll admit this is probably my tired 30s millennial ass dad brain talking, but honestly, for myself, a pre-built simply works better. And while I can only dream about building a 4090 setup the size of an Xbox, I'll be saving that for another day. Either way, built or pre-built, I'm going to be gaming on a dope-ass PC, and regardless of which way you choose, it's easy to say we're absolutely spoiled with how great tech has gotten over the last couple years. But let's have a conversation down in the comment section, or there might be a few of you who want to go ahead and roast me. I'm sure you're still foaming at the mouth. I appreciate you all watching till the end. Till next time.